Hi everyone, welcome to our video on the Transition Assessment and Goal Generator, otherwise known as the TAGG. My name is Jim Martin.
And I'm Amber McConnell.
And we are both at the Zero Center, which is located at the University of Oklahoma. A grant from the U.S. Department of Education's Institute of Educational Sciences and funds from the OU Zero Center enabled us to develop the TAGG. The purpose of the TAGG is to assess the non-academic skills of students with IEPs that are associated with post-school employment and further education.
The TAGG is designed to assess high school students with IEPs who will most likely be competitively employed or enrolled in some type of post-secondary education after high school.
There are three TAGG versions: a student version, a family version, and a professional version. The TAGG is an online assessment, and when online, users may, if they want to, listen to audio recordings of each item or the instructions, or watch ASL videos for each item and instructions. When a printed copy is needed, the TAGG version may be printed out, completed by hand, but then the items have to be manually entered back into the website to produce the results profile.
The reading levels for the TAGG include the professional version at the 10th grade level, the family version at almost a 6th grade level, and the student version at 4.8.
There are 8 TAGG constructs that we identified from the published research and that we got to after doing several statistical analyses using results from people all over the country who completed the TAGG. Strengths and limitations. Students will know their strengths and their limitations both at school and in the community where they live.
Disability awareness. Students need to be able to accurately report information regarding their disability and be able to express the accommodations needed for their disability.
Persistence. Understanding the importance of putting forth continued effort in school and at the job site to attain their daily as well as long-term goals.
Interacting with others. Students need to be able to maintain at least one good friend, participate in small groups, in community organizations, and successfully interact with peers, teachers, and other adults.
Goal setting and attainment. Participate in the systematic learning of goal setting and attainment and using goal setting strategies and attainment strategies to attain their goals, especially attaining at least one transition goal.
Employment includes expressing the desire for a job, demonstrating job readiness skills, participating in a job training program, and actually obtaining a paid job.
Student involvement in the IEP. Students will go to their IEP meeting, actively participate, and to the point where they can actually lead their IEP meeting with coaching, of course.
Support community. Students need to be able to recognize the difference between individuals who provide positive support from those who do not. They also need to identify situations where support is needed and use this support only when needed and necessary, not just to get out of doing things. Now we're going to look at the TAGG in action on the website.
The TAGG can be found at the OU Zero website. The easiest way to get to the site is just Googling Zero Center, and it's typically the first one that pops up. Click on it and we'll take you to this web page. To get to the TAGG, just click on the second button on the left, which is the Transition Assessment and Goal Generator, and then it will take you to this page, which is where you learn about the TAGG and obtain copies of the TAGG. On the left-hand side are 3 buttons which will provide more information about the TAGG, learn about the TAGG, sample screenshots of the TAGG, more detailed description of the TAGG constructs. The middle set of buttons will first let you access the user's guide, which is presented in a set of frequently asked questions, and then the technical manual, which will detail how the TAGG was developed, will overview the TAGG's validity evidence, and also discuss how to use and interpret the TAGG result profile. Finally, we have obtain the tag, and when you press on obtain the tag, you register as a user, and then you can go and purchase as many tag copies as you like using a credit card or a purchase order. Each tag set costs $3, and a set includes a parent version, a student version, and a professional version, and the results will be saved for at least 7 years on a secure website service that OU has.
Now we're going to look at the demo version of the tag. I have logged in as a teacher. If I click the dashboard, I will see the list of my students who have assessments. This is also where I can create a new assessment for a student, transfer credits to another teacher, purchase more credits, or view my purchase history. My active students are students who do not have all 3 versions of the tag completed. Completed assessments are those with tag profiles that can be viewed at any time, and you can also see the dates in which the assessments were completed. We are now going to look at the actual assessment. This is an example of the professional version. On the professional version, the construct definitions are included in the assessment. We also have the option of playing audio,
Strengths and limitations.
or playing ASL videos.
Strengths and limitations. Successful students express personal areas of mastery and limited ability.
I have completed this assessment, and as you can see, you can click anywhere in each of the boxes and hit continue. There is a short demographics portion about the student.
And we strongly encourage educators to complete this section because as the research identifies new behaviors, we'll need to do new validity studies, and this information will be crucial for us to update the tag and to keep it current and follow best practices. So please complete the demographic information.
Now we can view the tag profile based on the professional responses. If you click the word professional, you'll see a graphic representation of how the student scores were compared to similar students. We have the area of greatest strength, areas of relative strength, areas of greatest need, and relative need. There is a present level of performance narrative that can simply be copy and pasted into an IEP document, and also suggested annual goals based upon the individual results and the professional responses. Now we're going to look at a student version of the assessment. The items have been simplified. The reading level is lower. However, there is still the audio or ASL option.
Number 30. I led my IEP meeting.
And once again, you can click anywhere in the box and click continue. Now when we view the profile, there is a combined version so we can easily compare how the professional scored the student versus the self-assessment of the student. And this is, once again, ranges depicting how a student scored in relation to similar students with disabilities. Now we have areas of greatest strength for the student and professional. The narrative is now expanded to include both sets of responses, and now we have suggested goals based on the needs provided by the student and the professional. This can be a great conversation piece for IEP meetings and really include the student on what goals they would like to work on for the next year. Now we will look at the parent version. Once again, you can see that most of the items are very similar, but now the beginning of each item has changed to my child, and we will click continue. The assessment will also let you know if you have missed items and give you the option of answering them at that time. When we view the profile with all 3 versions completed, once again, there's a graphic profile to easily compare how each of the 3 users scored the student.
And if you notice, this is a profile that is scored from 0 to 9, which is a Stay 9 scoring system. It's a norm reference profile. So based upon the norm sample, which we obtained from students, families, and educators from over 30 states, we can see how our particular student did relative to all the other students, and it's a descriptive report of basically how the student did by construct.
You can also view the graphic profile individually. We have all three versions and the areas of greatest strength, relative need, greatest need, and areas of relative need.
By the way, as we were filling this out, we did it just randomly, and it's whatever button we felt about pressing. In reality, in looking at the scores from all over the country, students, the professional, and family members agree actually quite a bit. We found a moderate correlation amongst the scores of all three users, which for this type of an assessment is actually very good.
There are more goals generated, and remember, these goals can be modified for individual students, and if your state doesn't use Common Core standards, a lot of these activities and goals can still fit into standards across your state just by looking at the activity and comparing those to your standards.
And if your state is one that doesn't use Common Core standards, and if someone in your state wanted to match these to whatever standards your state have, then we can put those onto the website as well.
So that is the graphic profile for all three assessments.
Over the last 3 years, not only did we develop the TAGG, but we've also conducted numerous psychometric studies to build the validity evidence to support the use of the TAGG. The TAGG technical manual and somewhat the user's guide will provide much more about the psychometric findings than what we're going to briefly review now. First of all is internal reliability. To have a good internal reliability, we would want scores somewhere around 0.7 or 0.8.
Each TAGG version had excellent overall internal consistency, and we had scores ranging from 0.89 to 0.95.
The test-retest reliability, we would want scores of 0.7 or higher to have good or satisfactory test-retest reliability. With the TAGG, we gave the assessments once. 14 weeks later, we asked the same users to complete it again, and we found
large correlations between the first and second administration. 0.8 for professional, 0.7 for family, and 0.7 for student.
Fairness is a crucial dimension of assessment, and the result that we're about to tell you now is one that we didn't expect to find. Seldom in education do we find something that is not influenced by SES, but using the available data that we had, which was free and reduced lunch eligibility, we found no significant overall differences by SES. We did find a little difference by family educational levels. Family members that completed the TAGG who had graduate degrees, they were pickier than other parents because they evaluated their students more critically or with lower scores than family members who had bachelor's degrees, higher or just high school education degrees. And as we already mentioned, the TAGG versions had medium correlation across the parent, educator, and student, which is very good for this type of an assessment.
Now we're going to talk about the scoring used for the TAGG assessment. So often, educators might try to use a simple percentage to explain the results of a transition assessment, but our assessment uses item response theory, and that's why the answers to the assessment have to be entered back into the website in order to generate a profile.
It's a very complex statistical procedure that none of us could score by hand. And so because of that, the TAGG website does this automatically, and it enables us to scale different types of items like yes or no, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we can have a common metric across all those different item types. And then it will weigh items differently on how difficult that item actually is. So it's a cool way to score an assessment, and the most modern way as well.
As explained before, we arranged our scores in stanines. That was the scale from 1 to 9. Each one of the categories corresponds to half a standard deviation on a normal curve. A lot of us have seen the bell curve on IQ tests, and we basically use the same thing here, where the middle of the scale would be average, the top of the scale would be above average, and the bottom would be below average.
And this is most noticeable on the graphic profile results that are presented by Construct by users. So final tag details. The tag costs $3 per set. A set includes a professional, student, and family version. They can be purchased with credit cards or with purchase orders. All funds go to the OU Office of Technology Development. We will save the tag data for 7 years. The tag data are kept on OU high-speed secure servers. What's nice is that if a tag credit is purchased and not used, it can be transferred to another tag user, or if a central office purchases many tags, then they can be distributed to other tag users as well. We will refund unused tag credits too for 1 year after they were purchased.
To find the tag, you can go to zerocenter.ou.edu or directly to the TAGG site at tagg, that's TAGG, .ou.edu/tag.
Thank you very much. We hope this presentation will give you useful information about the tag. We just scratched the surface of how we developed it and the validity evidence supporting the tag. To get more information, read the material that we have available for you at the TAGG website. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Bye.